All right, welcome to the studio. I'm going to go ahead and complete a little bit of a demo here for you to get started on the Alla Prima. Let me show you the little still life here. This is a nice light that I purchased on Amazon. You get a 2-pack for about $40. Really bright LED. It gets flushed out in the camera. So that's why I decided not to turn it on yet, but I'm actually going to turn it on as I'm working. Meanwhile, I have a jumbo-sized cupcake here, courtesy of Albertsons, and that's going to be my subject matter today. Again, for this first painting, it needs to be a dessert item that you're working from. And I just have a decorative plant, plus a little bit of a cloth here. So again, I'm adding the light for contrast. Even though I do have some natural light coming through the window, this is going to make my job a little bit easier, okay? So it's going to flush it out on the camera, but I am going to turn it on and then adjust the camera to the surface, where I'm going to start with just a little bit of a thumbnail. Okay, if you do decide to do a thumbnail, what I'm going to do is suggest that you don't spend a particularly large amount of time on the thumbnail. Keep in mind, the amount of time you have on this assignment is a total of 1.5 hours. Looks like it's a little bit better with that other lamp left on. So you only have 1.5 hours to complete this painting in its entirety. Let me move it here. That's a little bit more square. Thanks for bearing with me on that setup. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a couple quick, really fast thumbnails here. My canvas is actually behind here. You can't see it. But what I'm going to do is just mass in. Let me get used to drawing around the camera, which is right in front of me. Okay, I'm just going to mass in a little square. And I'm going to think through some compositions. So do I want to have a back wall kind of going like this? I develop a space. And then if I place my plate in here, I have a simple plate form. I have my light source coming from up here, right? So now what I could do is start to render out that cupcake. Sorry, that cast shadow you're grabbing there is pretty dramatic, isn't it? Apologize, I might experiment with that a little bit. It's just my basic shapes. Love the cherry on top. That's what sold me. That's what sold me at the bakery item and Albertsons was two things really. Just this absurd amount of frosting that's wound up here, and then that nice little cherry that's on top. So, and then this plate has this nice decoration going around the bottom, and that's going to leave me this striking cast shadow, which I might exaggerate a little bit. So again, I'm thinking of Wayne Thiebaud. And that's one option, just like that. I can render through a quick little thumbnail. I might do another one where I keep it more simplified and I zoom in here. Maybe not worrying so much about the environment. Maybe thinking of the front edge of the table that it's resting on. Might zero in a little bit more on the plate. Making the cupcake form here a little bit more central to the overall composition. Okay, and then we've got our cherry up on top, cast shadow coming down here, foreground. That might be a little bit more interesting, actually. You know, I for some reason, actually, you know, I think it may be more of a diagonal shape coming back here. Rendering out a little bit of value there. Again, same sort of idea. Light sources coming from this area. And then maybe increasing a little bit of fold in this area. And then, again, bottom table is going to be a little bit darker. I'm feeling a little bit better about this one. Let's call this one A. I'm liking A better than B. B, there's a lot of space back here that I'd have to work to kind of figure out how to activate it. I do think that the problem with this composition is it's a little bit divided in half, right? So I like where I'm going with that, but I think what I'm going to do is drop the plate down here even lower. See, this is why the little thumbnail sketches can be beneficial, and I'm not spending a lot of time on these, and I'm not worried about a refined finish or anything like that. It's feeling better. Okay. I like that dark coming from over there. A little bit of area here, and that's going to leave me area for my cast shadow. Coming over here and some of those halo effects and the bottom of the table. Okay, that's pretty rough, right? But I could even start to think about, oh, do I want to add some kind of pattern design back here, which is going to be part of a future Alla Prima. Spoiler alert. Okay, so maybe, yeah, I'm liking this. Let's call this C. Sorry, it's probably pretty small on your the image here. But anyway, this is the helpful thing, just to work through some really quick thumbnails. And I had to draw around this camera a little bit, but to give you an idea. So there's nothing really special here. They're pretty quickly rendered. But the thing is, now that I have it in my mind, I can say, you know what? That's going to be the one I'm going to go with. These other ones, B had some potential. This one compositionally, I divided it in half and really lost all the tension in A, right? So I think CC is going to be the chicken, winner, dinner there. Okay, so I'm going to stick with C, but that's just a quick little tutorial on, you know, maybe thinking through some thumbnails. These things aren't precious. That's just how to get started. But you can see, having done that, now I can come back into my subject matter here, and I can feel much more confident. But now, I guess it doesn't flesh it out quite as bad as I thought, but you get the idea. That little LED light is super great for staging things. And I've started using it with my wife's iPad to film demos. So if you've seen them where I'm on that green table and some of these other classes, works pretty well for those purposes. Okay, friends, that's it. That's stage number 1. Don't spend any longer than 10 minutes on that because you have limited time. Okay, I'm going to stop it there, get set up for the painting, and then it'll be off to the races. Thank you.